Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based to debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Claude Ray, Skip Bayless, and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, you see me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop's the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we broadcasting all over the world. You know, in Houston, Texas. Guess what, Jimmy? We got a loaded day today, Jimmy. It's just so much stuff. I know you're going to talk about the McDonald's selections, the rankings, and how the rankings is, and the politics and how it is, so people can understand. I saw a little Twitter, little stuff y'all were going through the other night, but it's a great day in sports, Jimmy. But I still want to start this off because, and I know when we get to talking sports, on this day in 1964, I want to give you a historical fact that the 24th Amendment was officially added to the U.S. Constitution, and the reason it outlawed the poll tax as a voting requirement in federal elections. The poll tax was the prime example of Jim Crow laws that disproportionately disenfranchised African American voters. So that's why when I always come on this show and talk about people talking about voting ain't important and voting ain't this, and my vote don't matter. If your vote didn't matter, Jimmy, people wouldn't try to stop you from doing it. Always remember that when one of these clowns come on YouTube or social media talking about your vote don't matter, your vote don't matter. If it don't matter, why they trying to stop you? Why they trying to gerrymander your districts so you won't be able so certain amount of people can be here so they can win. Voting is important, and don't never let no. It's people died for you to have the right to vote. So I just want to get that out the way because if we don't talk about it, nobody's going to talk about it. So Jimmy, what we got, man? I just so much stuff. I don't even know where to start. But boy, we got to talk about your boy AB. But keep going. What you got? And Zion, hold up. No, I'm sorry. It's Zion day today. It's Zion day today. I'm sorry. Where you want to go, Jimmy? But AB and Zion, you got to talk about those two. What's going on? What you got?
I understand. I told you what was going to happen with Zion. I said it yesterday. I said, no matter what happened in sports, it will be consumed with either Zion being a flop or Zion being just marveling everybody. It's going to be one or the other.
That wasn't no heavy stress, Jimmy. That wasn't no heavy stress. And I'm going to tell you why. I know why now, but keep going. Keep going.
No, I'm telling you, people have, listen, up top, they have to, when you anointed something, you have to go, and if it does half good, you're going to blow it up because you were part of the process of anointing it. Now, if you said, I don't know, then guess what? You're not going to be part of the process of blowing it up. You're going to wait till something happens negative and or slightful, then you will highlight that. And that's how a lot of people do. You just notice how a lot of things, remember, you think I'm joking, think about Lamar Jackson. And recently, how a lot of people were still out on the wagon. They wait till something happened to the negative, even a year ago when he was a rookie. But that same energy wasn't there with Baker Mayfield. Look over at the young man from Oklahoma. What's his name at Arizona with the Cardinals?
Kyler Murray.
Look at Kyler. Think about this. If Kyler Murray would have been a bust, don't you think they would have made you know it every week? You see how they
that's with every top athlete, Jimmy.
No. What you do, but they wasn't. But on what you're saying, what you didn't get on Kyler Murray, was the fact that you didn't get a bunch of the air in the tires. He did what he was doing and had a great season as a rookie. But remember, it was a plenty of pushback that was coming against him. But back over to Zion, I actually taped the game because you guys know Wednesday nights is date night. I taped it, so therefore I came back in and I watched it. Actually, we got home because it was a late game. We got home right in the fourth quarter. So when you're putting up stuff, I said, let me rewind it all the way back, and I forward through everything. First quarter was, he had 4 or 5 points at halftime.
You're a groupie, man. You're a groupie. I'm finding you out. You tape this game. You tape this game, but keep going.
I taped the game because I'm glad I did for good reason, because otherwise a person wouldn't know. They say, man, Zion was killing. Well, Zion was average, because based on the minutes, he did well, but based on the minute restriction. But in that fourth quarter, if you wasn't watching it, then you would have not understand all of the dynamics that were going into place. It put the coach in a really, really tight spot.
No, it did not.
Well, no, you could look on his face and tell but at the same time, the coach made, for the most part, he made right decision for the most part. Because if they go in and lose the game, it's all for Neil.
Coach, they already had a plan. They already had a plan before.
But they went outside their plan.
No, they didn't.
They did. In the fourth quarter.
No, they did. Jimmy, David Griffin came and talked about their plan. And the reason he came out the game when he had a chance to win them, because that was the time. What happened, Jimmy? No, I don't know if you know this.
So they were subbing for him twice.
We ain't talking about that. I'm telling you not what Jimmy said and what Jimmy looked at. I'm telling you what the GM and the president of basketball operations said. David Griffin, the guy who made the choice. He said he didn't care what the score was and how many points it was. His medical team was monitoring him. And when he felt fatigued, we take him out the game because he's susceptible to get hurt again under fatigue. That's what the head person in charge said. Now, you can take what's your take from it. I'm just telling you, he came on a show last night after the game and said he didn't care what Alvin Gentry was trying to do. When that medical team told he had to get off the floor, he was getting off the floor.
I understand that, Hatter, and you're absolutely right. However, you missed something. Alvin Gentry, Zion's time was up about 2 minutes before he actually came off the court. That's what I'm saying. So that means he went extended.
He called a timeout, Jimmy. The play didn't stop. He was waiting on the play to stop. He even explained it. Alvin Gentry came and said he would have been out sooner. But the play didn't stop. He said he called a timeout to stop it.
So tell me this. So explain to me why in the NBA, is it commonplace for a guy to come off the bench to go and sub another guy in and then to walk the green mile back to the bench, not once, but twice for the same player? Is that common practice? That means that's not common. So that means somebody, the head coach, had summoned him to be subbed out. He hit a three, the guy goes sit back down. Then another guy came up, he hit another three. That guy goes sit back down. And then he's at the free throw line.
How you know they was coming in for him?
Huh?
How you know they was coming in for him?
You know he was coming in for him.
How you know? See, my thing is, I just gave you
because if he wasn't coming in for Zion, he would have easily came back and made the sub for the person he was coming in for.
All I'm saying is, I am going by what the people who make decisions, they came on and said, you got your own opinion. I'm just going by, I don't have an opinion about it. I'm just going by what Alvin Gentry said, because he's the actual coach of the team. And the general manager said, and what you saying, they didn't say, but you seem to have an opinion about what they did. So it's okay.
Not what they said.
You have an opinion about it, and I'm just going by what they say. And and that's it. And it's okay.
And that was the thing, because I looked at it, I rewinded it, I looked at it again, I said, wait a minute.
But you don't know exactly what was going on. All your rewinding in the world, you don't know what was going on.
Alan, that's not common. And even the commentators who was at that scores table, the commentator crew last night said that this guy's coming in for Zion. He says that. Not both times. They said it on one of them, though. And so that's the thing. And so
that's why now me and you play the game different. I don't listen to the commentators during the game. If I told y'all, I always turn the noise off. I never listen to the commentators. So maybe that's why I always watch the game in silent. I never watch the commentator.
And Trey Phillips say that was no stop and play for the sub. He went to the free throw line. Yes, he did, Trey. He missed the front one, hit the second one of the free throw trip. Zion did. It was a time. He could have. He had a break. What to sub him if he wanted to at that point, and then somehow coach got a grip of himself and made the right decision.
The guy scored 17 points in 3 minutes. Man, let's just you need to hear. People need to hear about the barrage, because a lot of people might, if you didn't see it. But over 30, it was about 17 minutes, 17 points in over 3 minutes and 8 seconds. But y'all had to hear the sound. You remember I turned that down, but I found something later in the night. The sound of the ESPN, Jimmy, had they did a thing, right? They did what you call ESPN. Oh, I didn't load it up, Jimmy. They did their only take. I wanted you to hear it. I forgot to load it up, but I'm going to load it up. Go and talk about Zion. I'm going to load it up right quick. Y'all got to hear the ESPN local affiliate, the way they was calling the game. But go on, Jimmy, and I'm going to cue it up right quick.
Oh, man. And so also in that game, one of the persons that I give, like say it was a game ball last night, but they didn't win. Just say if the Pelicans had won and you give out a game ball, that ball would have went to Lonzo Ball.
What?
Because if Lonzo Ball in the streak when Zion got hot, you always have to watch. That's what I'm saying. It was a good thing because I taped it, because I got a chance to go back and go look at some stuff and watch Lonzo's facial expressions. Lonzo, you could tell that Lonzo wasn't really studying about what Gentry was talking about. He took a gamble on himself and and in process of doing so, he helped out a teammate to gain an extreme amount of confidence and take the monkey clean off of his back, which is not easy for anyone to do in the National Basketball Association. But Lonzo Ball kept feeding him. He's the one that fed him at least 3 of those 4 3-pointers was assist from
Jimmy,
Lonzo
are
Ball.
you saying that was against Alvin Gentry's? Or what
No,
are
no,
you
no, 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 no,
talking
no, no,
about?
no. One of the trips down the court, Adam, was when Gentry looked like he was telling him to call a timeout. Lonzo, after the play was dead, the camera went to, when the kid made the bucket. The camera went to Alonzo going back down the court. You can see a smirk on his face, like he did something sneaky. I'm not saying it happened, but it really. And he didn't run by the coach's side. You know, you run on the middle of the other side. You just sometimes, like I said, when you're watching, that's why a lot of you coaches out there, you know, watching film, you guys get to see a lot of stuff that you normally don't catch in the flow of the game. But Lonzo Ball, remember, I think about it yesterday. Remember, the Spurs were solid. This was a winnable game. And that's why a lot of people was upset, because the Pelicans had actually took the lead on one of Zion's baskets. So it actually took the lead.
Yes.
And the momentum
That's when he came out the game, Jimmy.
The Spurs had came and took back. Spurs were hitting big shots.
Oh, yeah. But Bellinelli came back and hit a big one.
Once or twice. It wasn't just Bellinelli. Bellinelli hit a 3.
That's the one that put him back up.
Then Zion hit a bucket, come back on the other end, and let the young boy run right by him on the left side, hit a left-hand layup. It was kind of like, but you can see, the good thing about it, the network, I don't know what the ratings were because it might be a very late game, but that was a home run.
I got the thing queued up, Jimmy. To the people who didn't see it.
Back to Zion. Oh, my heavens, straightaway praise. Everybody up. Nobody expected that. Nope. Alley-oop Zion. Lay it good. From up top, Lonzo Ball. I think he's feeling it now, Daniel.
Oh, can we mute it when you do that? Can you cut the volume up and I can
Jimmy, they can hear you, Jimmy.
Now Zion again. Straightaway 3.
Unmuted.
Good again.
I know Frankie.
Just like they drew it up. He shot 1-3 the entire preseason. He's now 2 of 2 in his NBA career. 106-101. Back we go the other way. Called. No look feed to Zion. Oh, did he take the 3? Now he's got it. Right wing 3 again. Got it again! You have got to be kidding me! Floated into Zion. Aldridge on him. Up top, Lonzo. Stutter step back to Zion. Oh my, step back 3. Left wing! Slash! No! This is not happening! Welcome to the NBA, big brother.
There we go. We back. But Jimmy, no, I mean, it was so unique about Zion. I just wanted people to hear how excited Jimmy. I looked at that thing. Because Lionel Guard, you know, he messed with you. He's talking about, Jimmy, do you still stand by your predictions about if they make the playoffs? But you can address that later. But what I saw last night, Zion Williamson is our next phenom, okay? And this is what a phenom looks like, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the smile, the game, the power. And last night I saw it all. He's not in great shape right now, but I remember when Blake Griffin came in the league as a rookie. He's a better shooter than Blake Griffin. And Jimmy, he's a highly skilled guy that looked different. And so I went back in history. I wanted to find my highly skilled guys that just look different body types. And I come up with 5. Shaq, highly skilled, unique body type. You ain't never seen a body type like that. Charles Barkley, uniquely skilled, highly skilled, unique body type. Nobody could understand it. LeBron, super unique body type, but very skilled. Karl Malone, very skilled, unique body type, and Zion Williamson. These 5 guys. I remember when LeBron first came in the league, he was just bullying over people. He was bully balling. And then guess what? He developed the jump shot. He developed a mid-range. He developed the handle got better. And you know, we used to talk about NBA guys. NBA guys, we see NBA guys could go to the NFL. Now we got NFL guys that's good enough to go to the NBA. Now we got an NFL guy, an NBA guy that looks like an NFL player. You know, and always remember, y'all, you're not going to get the finished product right now. You wasn't that refined at 19 years old, Jimmy, and whatever you do. You wasn't that refined, and nobody on this Facebook feed. You wasn't the finished product at 19. It took LeBron 5 years to master this thing. And I'm going to tell you what I saw again last night, Jimmy. You know I look at the game different. Last night, he was a B12 shot for the NBA. Jimmy, you was talking about the sponsors from Duke and all that kind of stuff. Man, the NBA ratings has been sagging. The NBA needed this dude. You talking about some regional sponsors from Duke and all that kind of stuff. The NBA needed this guy. He is exactly what the NBA needed. He had everybody. When the last time you DVR'd a game? Probably. But it's a difference, Jimmy. I want everybody to understand that. It's a difference between a star and a superstar. You know, when my sister, and I use a barometer, my sister, she don't watch sports that much. But she didn't know who Derek Jeter was, but she knew who A-Rod was. She not too familiar with Pippen, but she know who Michael Jordan was. It's a difference. Superstars and phenoms, they just look different. LeBron, when he was 17 years old. Ja Morant. I've been talking about Ja Morant over the last few weeks. Ja Morant is a star. Zion is a phenom. And guess what, Jimmy, I like about him? I looked at his interviews. He's incredibly likable. He got that magic. He got that Favre. Westbrook, one of the talented guys on the planet, but y'all don't like him. So that's what I took out of that game last night. That dude, he box office. And he helped the ratings last night. And I hope you checking on the ratings right now. I knew they was out of the roof the last night. But that's, that's all. If you got anything to share on that, Coach, if you want to comment about your
remember, not necessarily. I wouldn't be surprised if the ratings were moderate, based because once again I told you because it was a late game. Number one, it was a 9 p.m. I think tip, and then number two, not a 9, I think an 8 p.m. tip. And number two was the fact that remember, even if you watch that game, after the first rip of Zion, then the second quarter came, and he didn't factor in. Think maybe he had 5 points at halftime. Played moderately, played maybe 6 minutes in the first half, something like that. You would have turned it at halftime. You were gone. You saw what you needed to see. So that stuff didn't happen until.
But you still turned it on.
Until the 6-minute mark. Well, understand. First of all, they don't count you unless you have a Nielsen box in your house. So I learned that a long time ago.
No, Jimmy, the Nielsen box is outdated. They don't even use. They got something else they got us on now.
They don't count you unless you have the equipment, whatever the equivalent of a Nielsen box is. Your view don't.
Jimmy, they don't use the Nielsen ratings. No.
I say whatever the equipment that's the equivalent of it is. They don't.
Jimmy, they can track everybody with this. The way the games are being streamed. Just listen, just slow down. You're still in a time warp. We in a new era now. We in an era where stuff is streamed now, so they know exactly.
Now, streams are different than
but they know exactly who watching the game, sir. That's all I'm saying.
The TNT,
they don't have the Nielsen box. That Nielsen rating is archaic.
TNT's contract with the league ain't about streams. Those billions of dollars.
Jimmy, they can track what you looking at on TNT right now. Right now, they don't need a Nielsen box, Jimmy. This technology your Samsung Smart TV can tell you what you're doing in your house. Jimmy, if I type in something, if I say something, I can say, man, I want to go get me a pizza. I can go on my computer, and guess what I'm going to have on my computer? I'm going to have people saying, a piece of ads. If I say I'm gonna buy a camera, Jimmy, all I'm trying to explain to you, sir, and just go do your research. The Nielsen ratings are archaic. They don't use it. They don't put no box in nobody's house no more. They have new technology. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Oh, it's all good. That's all I'm trying to explain to you, Doc. It's new.
Roughly what year do you think the Nielsen box or the Nielsen ratings went out the window?
I'm telling you what right now, because I talk to marketing people all the time,
okay.
Jimmy.
I can read to you. I have an article right here from October 2019.
Okay.
So unless they went out in November or December or January, which is January 2021, I have an article from 90 days ago.
Okay.
90 days ago.
What the article? Read the whole article now. Now, and see, you are one source. Now, you got to go give me 10 articles that say this. You can't go get one source of somebody who think like you. He might be archaic too. Let's go.
Okay. Well,
tell me what the article say.
I tell you what I do.
Read the article. Read the article.
I'm just going to paste the article in there because whatever I say, I got the feeling right now that you're not going to believe. So it mentions the Nielsen rating.
Read the article.
The Nielsen ratings are calculated based on a sample of 40,000 homes and about 100,000 people that's demographically representative of the population as a whole. It's a small fraction of the 120 million or so homes with TV, but it's a lot more than, say, a typical political poll that surveys only a couple of thousand of people. I'm just reading you an excerpt from it. The Nielsen ratings are still used.
I say it's archaic.
That's what they use, though, Howard.
But Jimmy, they got another technology that they use also. That's the problem that you don't. Dude, Jimmy, I didn't say, man, they don't like the Nielsen ratings no more. I say it's archaic.
You say
archaic means it's outdated and old. I know some people driving some old ass cars. I know some people still got an old ass oven that they cooking on. I know some people Jimmy. I know people still got washing machines that are with the flat top and not sideways. It's new technology out there, sir, that determines the ratings. That's all I said. And listen, man, there's a difference between listening and hearing. I'm not disputing what your article said. I said it was archaic. Archaic means old.
When you first said it, you made it look like they didn't even use it no more. That's why I asked you the question.
I said archaic. You might not know what archaic means. Archaic means old and outdated.
First and foremost, my mom was one of the few families that the Nielsen people came and asked for. I do know.
How many years ago was that, Jimmy?
Huh?
How many years ago was that?
They can't come but one time. We didn't qualify.
How many years ago was it?
Oh, about 10.
Archaic. Jimmy,
Howard,
do you know? Jimmy.
Howard, that's what you're saying. You don't even understand how it go. And you say, understand, whether it be archaic
know how
or
the
not.
Nielsen's go.
If that's the case, televisions are archaic. The manner of which they measure it, what I was about to say to you, the point was, they can't measure you for the Nielsen ratings without your permission.
Jimmy, excuse me, Jimmy.
Do that.
Jimmy, you're not listening to me. I said it's archaic. They have new technology.
You said they don't use it no more. How at first? Now you probably didn't mean to say it, but guess what? That's why I went through all the trouble of going. I know better than that.
Jimmy, I said it's archaic. Archaic means it's outdated.
Thank you, Tyrone Irvin. Thank you, Tyrone.
Tyrone is outdated.
Thank you, Tyrone. Dude, that stuff, they've modified. It ain't the same manner of which it was back in the old days. They've modified the equipment. They've modified. That's why I'm telling you, people realize.
So you said 40,000 homes. Hold on, no. Hold on. No. In your article, you just so eloquently read, and you would
listen. 40 out of every 100 in the region, in the metropolitan area.
You said
40,000 out of the 100,000. That's what it said.
40,000 homes, right?
Out of 100.
In every city.
Per every 100 in every metropolitan area.
Okay. So Jim, all I'm trying to explain to you and Tyrone is It's new methods of understanding. Have you ever heard of the term cord? Have you ever heard of the term cord, C-O-R-D cutting? You and Tyrone? If you haven't, go look it up, and then we'll talk about this another time.
You mentioned streams earlier.
Listen to me.
To do with this.
Jimmy, go look up cord cutting. You understand what I'm talking about. So you just don't know. You and Tyrone, y'all archaic, but it's okay.
Y'all see, that's what I got to deal with every 4 days a week.
Yes, because you gotta hold up. You got a guy that's a thinker. I don't listen to just what nobody tells me.
The Nielsen rating, you thought they didn't exist no more.
I did not say that, Jim. Now you're lying. I said it was archaic. They use other methods now.
You said archaic
means
also.
Oh, like I said, you got an old ass stove you're probably using. You probably got an old ass refrigerator you're still using. You're still using it, but guess what? I got one that can bring the water in here to me.
But yours don't matter if they're not using yours to vote.
Yes, they do use it, Jimmy, you have to pay for NBA games. Now, it's something called DirecTV that Nielsen don't have. DirecTV is a streaming service. Y'all, dude, just said.
Well, you know what? You don't realize how. I know y'all hear how he sound. He don't realize how he sound.
No. Wait a minute.
I'm flabbergasted.
Excuse me.
Wait a minute,
Jimmy. Let me help you out. I'm going to help you out. To people like you and Tyrone that don't understand technology, y'all would never understand it. So we can move on to the next subject.
Wow. Yeah. So now the man just said Tyrone. Yeah. Who's one of the more tech
he's not. In
the local.
No, he's not. Don't say that.
Tyrone is one of the more
Jimmy, you need to get out more.
Jimmy,
you need to get out more. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You need to meet some more people. That's all. Nothing against you, Tyrone. You need to meet some more people.
What does one of D mean? That means you're among the crowd.
You need to get Jimmy,
most tech-savvy guys in black
Jimmy,
media in Houston.
I can tell this bothering you. I'm gonna sit back and just chill until you change the subject.
It's impossible for you to sit back and chill. But anyway, I'm telling you guys and remind you guys the Rockets, as I was saying, got to their winning ways. Won last night over the Denver Nuggets a game that they had better won after losing 4 straight. Remember, I told you guys yesterday that Denver was without 2 or 3 starters in this game and the backup center. And the Rockets came out, got a big game from Eric Gordon in the I think 25 points from EG in that win, 121-105, which they cruised to the win, to the victory. I like the fact that James Harden was more efficient in this outing than he was the other night. I think 6 for 13 from the field, only took 13 shots. And what do we have? James Harden with 27 points, Westbrook 28 points, another monster game, 16 rebounds for Westbrook, 8 assists. What was James from downtown, guys? 2 for 6. That's 33%. You know, that's a up. But in a win, remember I gave you the stats yesterday. In the games that the Rockets have won this season, James Harden is shooting about 40% from the 3-point line. If I'm not mistaken, it was something like that. In the games they lost, something like 23% in the games that they've lost. But that was a good win. I like the fact that the productivity they got from EG, Austin Rivers, he came and gave a good spark, hit back-to-back threes in that game in the second half. That that kind of give him a re-establish his role to this team off the bench. And so if Austin Rivers is giving you what he's supposed to give, and Eric Gordon is giving you what he's supposed to give, they're still lacking. They have to get more productivity from somebody. And they're going to, trust me, the trade deadline is coming. I think a move is going to come with the Rockets in order to help bolster that bench in some fashion. We surely missing Gerald Green. Daniel House, he's playing like a guy that just got a new contract, and I'm comfortable right now. That's what it seems like Daniel House is playing like this season. Ben McLemore, he's playing like a guy that felt really comfortable while he was hungry, but thrust into the role and we got more responsibility now. And Ben McLemore just is not consistent enough for the Rockets. PJ Tucker, he broke his streak, had 8 points last night. That doesn't sound like much, but he had 9 rebounds. And the thing is, he had 2 threes last night. My mistake, I was watching the portion of that game where he had 2 threes. And the thing is, the stinger that he received in his arm, that stinger reportedly transpired on January the 11th, right? January the 11th is when the stinger transpired, Adam. So his woes started long before January the 11th, but he's playing through it. And I did not realize that since like 2012, there's no player in the NBA who's played more consecutive games, or more games than PJ Tucker. Now, for his consecutive games, he's played over 200 consecutive games without sitting out. So that's something personal, obviously, to him. He's trying to, I don't know what the mark is or what he's trying to chase, but you can tell that's personal. Otherwise, PJ would sit down and get the nerve damage a little healthy for that stinger. But Rockets, I like what I'm seeing. I like what I saw last night.
One game?
Like what I saw last night.
Are you the total? Okay. You notice I am not. I wouldn't. I'm not. I just know all we got to do is hit shots. We win games. I said that the other day, but if the Nielsen's don't say it, it don't matter to me. Don't matter if the Nielsen's don't say it.
Well, this ain't nothing to do with Nielsen ratings on the Rockets game, but one thing to do, and for the Boomer Room, Corey said Gerald Green really wasn't that consistent. No, Gerald Green was the Travis Scott to this team. He added so much, brought so much energy. When he come in, he make a bucket. Now, some players can make a 3, and it's just a regular 3. Another person can make that 3. Guess what? It's kind of like the magnitude of Steph Curry in Golden State. He makes a 3-pointer, the crowd is going crazy, right? And of another guy, if Draymond make a 3-pointer, because it's not coming, they're going crazy. Certain people make a 3. And that's what Gerald Green brought. He brought a different level of energy. It was passion, what he brought. It was love, what he brought to the team. And that right there, we haven't been able to replace even half of that. Daniel House is just so nonchalant. And it's all, which is that's him. You're not going to change him. Daniel has always been pretty much nonchalant like that. But he's playing with a passion, but it's not exerted and not rolled out and transformed or transmitted, that is, throughout the audience. How about also one of you guys said that Austin Rivers that's Kerry Holmes could be trade bait. Possibly. That could possibly be because Austin Rivers doesn't have that passion. It's like, he understand. He has his hard head on. He's playing. It's like I'm trying to meet my quota and get the hell up out of here. He could be trade bait. He could be. Who knows? I mean, we'll see. February the 10th, I think, is the deadline, if I'm not mistaken, for the trade bait. Now, one thing about it, you have to realize the Rockets are strapped. They're in the luxury tax already. So you can't, to get somebody, you have to trade pay slots, or they have to be within a certain percentage of each other. Hell, Westbrook and Harden combined, those two are more than 50% of the salary cap just with those two for the Rockets this season. So we'll see how they can get it together, but they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Because one thing, no matter what, if they wobble into the playoffs or when they wobble into the playoffs, not many teams want to face the Rockets first, second round. Maybe third round, they may be wore down. But that was the thing. Also, tomorrow, the NBA will be having a game in I think across the water. I think the Milwaukee Bucks is playing overseas tomorrow. And what else did I miss last night? There was some other stuff that I wanted to give you guys. How about the Toronto Raptors got Philly again? Toronto Raptors got Philly again. And Siakam, 18 points, 15 rebounds. Van Fleet, 22. You know, Ben Simmons had another good game. 17 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. You know, they had a stat they pulled up last night, guys. They said Ben Simmons hadn't made a field goal outside of the paint area in like a really crazy amount of quarters since he had made a field goal outside the paint. Think like this. Hell, last night Zion got 40. That's more than double the 3-point total of Ben Simmons since he's been in the NBA after one night. How about last night, the Clippers? Paul George did not play. Kawhi Leonard did not play. But Trae Young did not play for Atlanta.
Still should have won that game.
Who should have won?
The Clippers.
Clippers still should have won.
Yeah.
They lost that game. And yesterday, Brian Windhorst, I think, broke a story that claims that the Clippers are having cohesive issues. So put it like that. So once again, I keep telling you guys, just pay attention around the league. The Rockets are not the only one. Expectation for the Clippers, remember, a lot of people pegged them to be the best team in the league all the way through. Not just saying the playoff, win the championship, all the way through. And as it stands, of course, Clippers, although they only about 4 or 5 games out of first, they lost 14 games, 31-14, which is a great record. Especially when you think about all the load management that they've implemented, basically giving away games this season on purpose. So that's the part about the Clippers that I would not feel sorry for when it goes down, because if it goes down and if the Clippers manage to win the title, by the way of which Kawhi Leonard is dictating his load, then you rest assured there's no turning back. There's no turning back on load management. It's already trickling down to our high school levels. But that would be a thing to do, because now.
What you got against your load management? Because you love to use that as a negative connotation, talking about it's trickling down into the high. What do you got against load management? Because you're the guy, when somebody have a high ankle sprain, you expect for them to be back in 2 weeks. Evidently you never had a high ankle sprain. So I'm just trying to say, you always talk about load management as a negative. Why you always talk about it? Because you're talking about it's trickling down into high school sports. Is it trickling down? You went from NBA to high school sports. You just skipped over college. I mean, what is your pet peeve? Because it seems that load management is a buzzword. Is a word when you say you love to talk about load management in a not so favorable way. Why?
Well, one thing is a high ankle sprain is not load management. So that's
no. I say you're not listening. You said a kid should come back after 2 weeks off of a high ankle sprain before. It's 2 weeks. He ought to be ready. I'm Jimmy. To know a man, look at his history. You have said that. He done had 2 weeks to rest.
I say crazy stuff all the time. I'm not a medical. That was a crazy.
So forget about that. I ask you, what is your pet peeve about load management?
Because of the fact that the way Kawhi Leonard does it, it has won him a championship doing it purposely last year. We saw from beginning to end pretty much doing it. What I'm saying is, if he does it and wins another one by way of going the same route, dictating when he's going to play, when he's not going to play, then that means the doors will open up now. If I'm the next player, then why should I play that many games, I'm gonna say, hell, this Kawhi might be on to something. I don't need to play that many games. I can try to rest, and Lord knows I can use the rest, but I love my fans. I want to play for the fans, but I need to try this. This ain't bad. I can take a day off, not go to work.
So why is Kawhi Leonard the barometer or the whipping boy?
Because he won the championship.
No, Jimmy, it's been done before.
I say in this era right now, in these last 3 to 5 years, he's the one that's
LeBron James rests in some parts of some season.
I would say some part. Listen, the term load management, they called it something else before. They called it DNP-CD. But now they actually termed it load management.
But why you look at it as a negative? Because you talking about it's going to trickle down to high school.
Because if you do it and you're successful at doing it, then that means now you're going to inspire others to go and say, okay, I really wanted to do this all the while, but I didn't want to get the flack. But now, forget what y'all saying. I'm going to do this.
But think about it. If he wanted to, because he got a guaranteed contract, he cannot play and just get healthy for a whole. He can just not play. Period. And nothing can be done about it, Jimmy. I mean, we are in press play because evidently you and Tyrone comment on this one with your comment self. He got the power if he's hurt because that thing just is not healing properly. He can just not play the whole year or half a year. It just said, man, I'm just going to rest up to the playoffs or to right before the playoffs.
Okay. And if you win all the way through the playoffs. But he ain't
doing it. He's trying to optimize he's got a sore quad that just for some reason, it just, the way, I guess too muscular. I don't know what it is. But it just killed me when people just think, oh, man, he just trying to, no, man. Man, that man trying to be his optimum self to win a championship. He won one. Jimmy, they could have eaten. Let me tell you something. Let me help you out. Let me help you out, too. A lot of things had to go right for Toronto. Wrong for Golden State for Toronto to win. First of all, when they played against Philadelphia, the shot, I keep watching it, the shot that he hit Kawhi Leonard hit from the side. I've never seen a ball bounce that way. They lost that game, they lose. So a lot of things had to happen right for them. So load management is not the key. Load management is just making him so he can be his optimal self when the playoffs roll around. That's all load. It's not no guarantee you win no championship. It wouldn't guarantee a kid in the high school that they'll win a championship. So I just have a problem with you thinking that people at that level gonna watch Kawhi and say, I'm a load manager. I just don't buy that.
If he wins another title, people emulate what they idolize. And if you have the opportunity, to not work, to rest in a game that that's really not enthusing to you anyway, on the second half of a back-to-back. Kawhi Leonard is not, we know he's healthy right now. Not 100% maybe. He's healthy enough to score 30, 37, 39 points the other night efficiently.
Okay, Tony Parker, Jimmy Parker. So you want to know what's inside some. Now you saying, you trying to tell this man he healthy.
I'd say probably not 100%. You didn't, once again, listen, pay attention. I said
healthy mean 100%.
He's healthy enough to score damn near 40 in a couple of his last games.
He's one of the best athletes in the world.
Al, understand something. This schedule for the NBA, they're making adjustments to the schedule. They've stopped in the past 2 to 3 years, the multitude of games in so many days. They've cut in half the amount of back-to-backs. Still, and then they talking about.
Guess why they saying that? Guess what? Why they doing it?
You say why?
Yeah, why they doing it?
They're doing it for a couple of reasons, because I know a lot of people was complaining about the back-to-backs, but at the same time, a couple of reasons they're doing it for.
Jimmy.
Not just no one particular reason.
Jimmy Hicks.
A couple.
Well, they got scientific evidence that players have to have an optimal amount of rest. They got monitors. When you walk into the Clippers, I don't know about the Rockets.
Yeah, come on.
When I walk into the Clippers, when you walk into the Clippers facility, when you put on that practice uniform, they got a whole new job that a young black man has at the Clippers. He strapped each player up to a device that monitors all of their movement while they're in practice. So it's a certain amount of movements. So they try to optimize the amount of rest. So if this guy go this hard, then he know how much he got to rest. This guy, I'm just talking about rest. I ain't said nothing about load management, all that crap you talking about. They were doing this last year. Excuse me.
That goes into it.
Excuse me. They were doing this last year and the year before when I went out there, and Kawhi Leonard wasn't on their team. Let me repeat that. They were doing this last year and the year before when Gallinari and all of them was there, and Kawhi Leonard was not on the team, Jimmy. I was there. So guess what? The NBA looked at Jimmy. They paid this man up. I don't know how much money. You remember, y'all, I love how y'all get up here and bash James Harden across the head because y'all don't like him. But he plays every single game of these 82 games that y'all want Kawhi to play. And by the time he get to the finals or wherever he can, then he's not at his optimal self. Then he's a choker. He's a diss. He ain't the big guy. He ain't the big game. He ain't big game James. He ain't. I just don't understand what you people want from these people. You're maligning a guy who plays every game, all 82 games, and then go through the playoffs and he out of gas, then you talk about he choked. So now you're mad at this guy. Because hold on. It's gonna trickle down into the high schools and they're gonna affect them. Man, come on, man. What do y'all want? Jimmy, what you want? I'm talking to you. You tapped James Harden's head off. Now you want to tap. I don't understand what you want. I don't understand. It kills me. I don't understand. It's something deeper than this. Something deep, very deep.
Now, I'm going to explain something to you guys. If you're doing something right and you're doing something legal and you're doing something not against the rules that are set forth, then why would they fine you? Why would you agree to pay the fine? Hold on, huh?
I didn't say fine. I didn't say no.
If you're doing something okay, then why would they fine you? Didn't the Clippers you mentioned a while ago, didn't they get fined earlier this year?
Doc Rivers comments.
And Doc
he made Rivers the wrong comment. The guy was actually resting for injury, and Doc said something else because he had talked to the doctor. What has that got to do with? I'm talking about you, Jim Hicks. So you tell James Harden. Jimmy.
That means we're talking about the Clippers.
Jimmy, I'm talking about you tearing James Harden head off for playing 82 games.
I'm tearing his head off for playing 82 games because you need to do some load management. That's what I meant for James Harden. James Harden
management is you say it's negative. It might trickle down. James might not want the high school students in Houston.
They already are doing it. I ain't saying it was going to start doing it. I said it's going to be okay and more widespread. But back to James Harden. James Harden needs to consider some load management game. Hell, Russell Westbrook just did one last week. If y'all weren't paying, week before last, They had load management.
What's wrong with it, though?
I'm saying what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
To abuse it. That's when it becomes wrong. Obviously, when Kawhi did it with the Clippers, it was abused. Because if it wasn't abused, then they wouldn't have gotten fined. That's all.
Jimmy, you're not, dude. Come on, man.
Excuse me. Understand. That means, and then after that, the NBA even moved further on their stance and sent out a memo to all of the teams saying these are the new guidelines on this load management stuff. They went and read this in the middle of the season, not during the winter meetings. the summer meetings.
What were the guidelines?
I don't have them in front of me, but it was the guidelines about road management. Do you not agree? Did the NBA not send the email out?
Jimmy, that's your story you brought up. I'm just telling you. I don't want you to gloss over something.
No. What I'm saying is, you just said that's my story.
I don't want you to gloss over something.
No, but I got a question before you talk.
I'm not gonna.
Did the NBA send a memo out to the teams?
I don't know
about load management.
I don't know.
I don't
know.
No.
Okay. All I'm telling you
Let me
is.
pull that link up for you while you talk.
Okay. All I'm telling you is, pull it up. All I'm telling you is, Doc Rivers got fined for his comment. Listen. No, I don't want you to. Don't pull up nothing. Don't pull up nothing. It was okay, ladies and gentlemen. The league said he was resting for injury. Okay? That's what the team put out. Doc Rivers, the coach, came on and contradicted what the team said. That's why he got a fine. He didn't get a fine because of load management. I'm trying to keep you from giving out bad dope. That was not the reason of the fine. The fine was Doc Rivers ran his mouth and shouldn't have said nothing. Like I just said a minute ago, you asked me a question, I don't know what memo they put out about load management. Because I don't care about load management. That's why I'm asking you why you have such a fixation for load management. You love load management. This a whipping boy. You bring this up. I don't worry about no load management. You bring this up a whole lot. And I'm just trying.
A lot of people pay hard-earned money in advance for tickets to the games. If by chance there's a way for some of the guys, the superstar guys, to say in advance, I'm not going to play on this game, I ain't going to play on that game, I ain't going to play on the second end, and let it be known before the season starts, I'm not playing on no back-to-backs, back ends of back-to-backs. The whole season, I will not do it until the playoffs come. Let it be known. Then that's fair game to the fan. But that's not happening. And understand, everybody doesn't have a surplus income just sitting around to go and spend $100 to $200 to $500 for a family to go to a game. And there's a lot of people that go.
So you worried about the family, the kid, Jimmy?
The fans is what drive what makes this thing go. Fans all around the world is what make this stuff go. You think I'm joking? Think about how much projected revenue was lost. Understand why Zion was not playing in New Orleans. You just think about it. How many bars that people frequent, sports bars in New Orleans last night? Everybody didn't go to the game, but there are sports bars in the community or in Louisiana where people went and mounted up to and drunk all night long.
Have you pulled up the article yet? So you got this grand gesture. You looking out for the fans of America who goes to the NFL game and don't see Kawhi Leonard. Okay, I got you. Okay, all right. Okay, let's talk about something that you probably know a little bit better. When we're going to talk about high school basketball, let's talk about something.
I definitely know that a lot better than all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's definitely that.
Yeah, let's
I am a pro.
Because I know you didn't pull up that Did you pull up the article
Yes,
yet?
I posted the article. I posted the link to the
Okay.
November the 26th.
Okay, what did they say? What did it say?
Hold on. November the 9th was the day for Doc Rivers.
What did the
November
article say?
26th, the NBA. I said it a couple of weeks
What
later.
did the article say?
The NBA teams are using load management designation to sit players will be in violation of the league resting policy.
Okay.
And I'll just stop it right there. The link is in the boom boom room. Scroll up, guys. You can see it.
Keep going. It was some more. Keep going.
Come on, Doc.
It was
I'm
some
not reading
more.
that whole article. I just told you what the article, what the theme of when the NBA sent the memo to the teams. They sent it toward the end of November.
You like that guy to read the part of the Bible that
No.
say what you want to say, but you don't. Okay, I got you.
No, I read you what the headline is, what the title is.
But Kawhi Leonard is injured.
This ain't got this article from the NBA does not
But we're
have
talking
nothing
about-
directly to do with Kawhi Leonard.
Jimmy, I can multitask. Wasn't we talking about? Didn't this subject come about because of Kawhi Leonard in his load management? Because you was saying, hold on.
Now, by the way, you mentioned Doc Rivers, right? You mentioned Doc Rivers, right?
Yeah.
The quote that Doc Rivers said, right, in that presser, you said he wasn't talking about Kawhi Leonard. You said it was something he was saying. You said did you say he was or was not? Because I want to make sure I clarify.
Dude, you don't listen, man. You don't listen.
I don't listen to you.
You said they got fined. I said they didn't get fined for load management. They got fined for his comment. Man, you got to start listening, man. I'm like a teacher in school. Hey.
His comment, was he talking about Kawhi Leonard in his comment? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
I rest my case. That's exactly what we was talking about at first.
But
the Kawhi Leonard was what we were talking about. Doc Rivers made a statement about Kawhi Leonard and said he's perfectly. He's fine, y'all.
You feel better? You feel better? You feel better? You feel better?
Absolutely.
Let's move on.
Absolutely.
Let's move on.
And now, guys, you guys don't know, tomorrow in roughly 24 hours, the McDonald's All-American team will be released. And this is the day that a lot of people every year who did not take out the time, and that's the thing about everybody, just because you say it, just because anybody say it don't mean that people's going to listen. Just because you preach it doesn't mean they're going to receive it. And that's the thing about it. And a lot of people, and I learned that from my mother, who was a school teacher of 37 years, that just because you teach it don't mean they're going to learn it, or don't mean they want to learn it. Just because you cook it don't mean they want to eat it. So the information about how this stuff goes is every year around this time. You have to remind folks, and then people say, well, man, the system is messed up. And that's messed up. But these guys that's voting, they ain't see this kid. And then people want everything to change and morph around their decisions. When in your decisions, if this is part of your end game, your short-term end game, then your decision should be morphed around who could possibly watch and help you to get to where you're going. That's very important. Now, in regard to the McDonald's game, recently, a couple of weeks ago, the nominees were released. I think it was about 900 approximate nominees that was released. In those that were released, state by state, then people start to question, why couldn't certain guys wasn't on there? There were some guys in every other state. There were players that were listed that wasn't even ranked in the top 10, top 20, even the top 50 in their state, right? But they were nominated. So people wonder, well, how in the hell did these guys get nominated? Understand something. First, the high school coaches, right, has the authority to nominate his player. Also, there are criteria for his age. Now, I've seen them. It used to be criteria for no fifth-year players, but they kind of wavered on that a few years back. And that's how, and Gerald Green made it. But DeAndre Jordan didn't make it. Both were fifth-year players. So that was when the system became unraveled, like not unraveled, but kind of exposed to whereas they can make their decisions based on how they want. But here's how I think, they have criteria. First is, if you are convicted of a felony, then you're ineligible for McDonald's consideration. I'm just saying, a lot of people don't know that. That's a little bitty things. If you have even been charged with a felony, then you're not considered. If you have a history, like if somebody can provide like say you got a kid that's a troubled kid or you know, conduct wise, or always been a problem child, they're not gonna take it. And that eliminates the whole that is you guys, many of you guys, the people that you know are definitely exempt from that, but those are certain criteria that stepped in, that's in place. Now, the high school coach, the athletic director can also nominate players. Once again, the high school coach, the athletic director, also your principal can nominate a player, right? And the only other person that can nominate a player with a documented and be accepted by the committee would be a member of the committee. So once again, the high school coach, the AD, the principal, or a committee member. That's the only 4 ways that you can get in. So now anybody can be nominated. But a lot of times, a lot of those principals and a lot of the coaches, they just don't take the process serious enough because they may know that little Johnny ain't got a chance in hell to get in, so he don't send the paperwork in. So if it means that much to you, parents, relatives, then go to the coach and write a letter to that coach right now. Let them know, hey, it really would mean a lot right now. Next year, if you would just nominate one player from your team, or my son or my nephew leading your team in scoring, nominate. If it means that much, the people know already when the nominees come out. You don't know, you may not know who making the game, but you know most of the kids who damn sure not making the game. Every nominee is going to get some paperwork to their school that will instruct them to go to their nearest McDonald's. They will go to that nearest McDonald's. They will take a picture. They will get a certificate from the McDonald's corporation, and they would take and that would be the apex of their nomination, and you could take that and run with it however you want. For most of the players, only 24 would be selected. Now, the committee would narrow them down to 100. They would send a list in of their top 100. Then they have to narrow those down, and the committee also had to come back and send a top 50 a week or so later. Well, the top 50, you got to put them in. Then you go down when they get ready to put them in. It's about 50, 53, something like that. Then you go, once they get ready to actually get down to the nitty gritty, you got to pick your top 5 by position. This is when it gets really tricky, the by position. So you start to look at the thing and saying like this, well, I know John Doe should be in. Well, is he one of the top, remember now, top 5 by position. So you can kind of look at some of the guys around the country and you know certain guys are top 3 and it's probably consensus for top 3. Then you got to say, well, is he one of those, is he possibly one of the next best 2 at that position in the country? That's where it gets tricky. Now, one thing about this year is going to be it's in Houston, the first Wednesday in April. And expect it to be really historic because Coach Wooten just died. Coach Wooten is the chair of the McDonald's All-American Board. He had 3 votes. So that's how sometimes some people got in, and you probably wondered, how did so-and-so get in? And he was ranked way down there. He has 3 votes. The power of 3. So every selection committee power of 1, he has the power of 3. So guess what? And being on the right side of politics may work. People wonder back and look back and say, well, hell, how, back in 2007, in Houston, Texas, we had B.J. Holmes over here. We had Jay Lucas, and Jay Lucas was ranked, in the country. But people say, man, how'd Jay get in? Well, guess what? That's being on the right side of politics. Maybe, but Jay, he played with the Houston Hoops. They won a little bit. Didn't win, Peace Jam, but they won enough. With Bel Air, they didn't make it to state. I think Dale Van Wright and all those guys were on the team, I think, back then. But understand this process. You can't wait until it's time when the list is released and then try to go and say, well, man, what I got to do to get my kid? What do you mean? We have 2 kids from Texas that's pretty much locks. Cade Cunningham, who's at Montverde, he's from Dallas. His parents live in Dallas. And Greg Brown, who resides in the Austin area. Those 2 are locks. The ESPN rankings just came out today. That's just one avenue. That doesn't mean what kid is going to be ranked on here. That's just one avenue. But rest assured that ESPN has checked some of the traps, and they need not want to have a kid that's ranked number 70 in a recent rankings to go and be ranked just this week and then get picked to the game, because that means ESPN got this kid ranked way too low, and they got it. Why? Michael Peavy is on the bubble of making it. This year they've kept the things really close to the vest. Normally the kids would know in advance. They would always call the kids and tell them not to say nothing to anybody. If they did, they would risk getting embarrassed and losing their spots. I'm not sure. I won't know until tomorrow how they actually informed the kids this year, or if they informed them at all, because so much stuff social media has caused so many leaks in the past. And this year, they did not want the leaks in abundance. They just didn't. So, I know people that vote. I've asked several people that they vote for, and I've gotten mixed. And for Michael, I'm rooting for Michael Peavy. Now, out in Houston, our best chance was L.J. Cryer. But L.J. Cryer is not going to get in before Michael Peavy gets in. That's going to be the thing.
They don't play the same position.
They don't play the same position. True that. But Cade Cunningham is being calculated as a point guard.
No, but you mentioned these 2. You were talking about positions and positions. These 2, you said one won't get in, the other one again. What if a guy that play similar to LJ can't go? Do they just put Michael Peavy in there over? I mean, if they play 2 positions, I mean, you say that, but now you're not sticking to what you just said.
No. Remember now, on your ballots, when this final ballot comes, they each get to nominate 25 players on this last ballot. So 5 each position.
So how many people vote?
About almost 2 dozen.
2 dozen people in this country vote. John Lucas is one of the voters.
Yeah.
Okay. And somebody asked, you were talking and Jimmy is not one of the voters.
No.
Okay.
No, not for this.
Okay. He's not one of the voters.
I'm on a committee for NBPA Top 100 camp.
Yeah.
Not for the McDonald's.
Okay. So this 20, how many say 12 voters?
Mike Kunstadt, they have a vote. John Lucas have a vote.
Okay. In this area. Okay.
In this state. That's it.
Okay. So where is Michael Peavy ranked?
Well, the ESPN, reason we say them because they're the worldwide authority. So we use them. But he's number 30, I think 31 in the poll that was released this week. So that means he's in that range.
He's 31?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in a good range. That's a good range.
That's what I'm saying. He's on the bus.
But what position is he?
That's the thing. For who on your ballot, you may call him a wing, and then somebody else's ballot might call him a point guard. And but it's still a vote. So that's how you see. And then
it's some bull crap to me. But keep on talking.
But you know why? Because nobody has a system in place to validate and say, okay, this guy's a center. Okay, y'all, this guy's a point guard. Nobody know why? Because a lot of people that rank on the national plane, a lot of the guys on the committee, when they're looking at their eyeballs are at the trajectory of at the next level or the level after the next. Because if you're a McDonald's All-American in today's society, then whether some people want to admit it or not, then you have been deemed a potential pro. You by some. That's how some people's eyes grow.
If you make this game, you most likely deemed a pro.
A pro to be.
A pro to be, because and ladies and gentlemen, let me help you out. It don't always happen like that.
More times than not. I mean, yeah, absolutely. And
okay, but
then
people deem you. People do. You're right.
And then on some, see, that's the thing that's tricky because there's no automate now.
Do they have a woman on the committee?
They have women voters, but not on the men's side. I don't think they're
on the men's side. I'm talking about, do they have a woman on the men's side voting?
No, I know.
That's the problem. We got to have a woman. They need to get a woman, because women gonna get it right.
Well, they got some men that votes for a few men that votes for the girls.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We need women gonna get it right. Women gonna get all of them 12 and that's a dude. You clowning. See, they can clown by themselves. You know, they ain't got to be held accountable. But if a woman was in there, the right woman, yes, sir. But I didn't mean to keep on going because I'm getting somewhere. Keep going.
So, and this is where it gets tricky. Now, once again, I want to go back up a little bit to try to hammer in so you guys can really understand. These people aren't in a room together, the committee.
Okay.
Doing their votes.
Okay.
You see?
How is it tabulated then?
They all go to Wooten, to Coach Wooten. Well, his secretary or whatever, because he was.
Wait a minute, Jimmy. Hold up. Now, see, you open up a can of worms. So, Wooten's office. So, everybody else don't know what did happen, but Wooten's office did. Yeah. Bingo.
Yeah.
Watch this. Watch what I put on the screen. Bingo. Wow. So, hold up. So y'all talking about playing politics down here. Y'all need to be up there playing politics with Wooten office. That secretary, she gonna know everything.
Just passed away. The man got a funeral.
But his secretary she didn't die.
No, that means the power gonna shift now. Somebody else got to be the chair. It may be Tom Chudkowski. It may be him. He's an OG.
I can't get rid of these old dudes, man. I'm old. See, when it's time, Jimmy, when it's time, we gonna anoint some of these young guys when I see them good enough. They gonna have to take over the chop shop for us. Because I'm gonna be on an island somewhere. I'm telling y'all right now where there's no internet. I'm just telling y'all, I ain't got much time. So who are these guys grooming the OGs? Because there's some old dudes. There's some Morgan Wooten, John Lucas, these guys old, man. Who are going to be the next generation? See, you got to understand, I think generationally.
Remember, it's a good old boys club.
But these good old boys about to die off, pimp.
Well, that's the whole thing. So that means now you got to put yourself in position so certain people can get more flavor on that committee. And because it's not many
African Americans. How many?
About a half dozen.
Well, that's a half dozen. That's half and half. You said 12.
I said you said how many? I said a couple dozen on the selection committee.
Okay, how many black?
I say about a half dozen.
Wait a minute, Jim, hold on. So that's half. So you said for the dozen.
I say a couple dozen.
Oh, so it's 24.
Something like that. I don't
24 writers. I thought you said 12 writers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, a couple dozen.
Okay, so 24 writers. I'm right.
Somewhere around in that range. I don't know the exact number now, but in that range, around there is how many. But not many, not proportional enough for us African Americans on the committee.
So you said about 6. Boy, you sounded like the NFL. You sound like the NFL and these coaches in the NCAA and these coaches. And I'm a shameless plug, black coaches. If you did get a job and you be lucky enough to get one, don't mess with the scooters on campus, the women on campus. So a public service announcement. Now, Jimmy, you can get back to this. You shouldn't have took me there. So 6 out of 24. Okay. All right. But Jimmy, I don't mind about the flavor, because most of the top basketball players are African American, most of them anyway. So I understand that. Jimmy, I got a question. What is the lowest ranked player? I think I asked you this question that you ever been encountered since you've been around it. You told me I forgot the guy's name. Lowest ranked player you've encountered.
It was a white kid.
White kid, a tall kid.
Back that this white kid.
You gave me his name. Let me look back in my stuff.
What was he ranked?
He was ranked in the 50s. You said.
I think Welsh. No, he was ranked lower than that. He was ranked What they did was, remember this. He was ranked as right for the vote. He was ranked at number 90 in the country by ESPN, right?
And they scooched him up?
Huh?
Somebody scooted him up?
They revised the rankings after the team came out. And when they revised, that's why it was embarrassing, because that way now, and okay. I'm looking at it now in my notes. He was number 90.
Okay.
In the country.
I remember I called you and asked that because I was thinking about.
And that was it. What year was this? This was in 2014. Thomas Welsh was the lowest.
Welsh. That's it. That's the name. That's the name. But he's a 7-footer though, Jim.
Yeah, he was a white kid that 7-footer. He had you connect dots, and he had dots that went, that
went his way.
Remember, he committed to UCLA. Where did Wooden coach at?
No, that's Morgan Wooden.
I'm sorry,
John Wooden.
Oh yeah, Wooden. This Wooden
here on the East Coast. On the East Coast. Yeah,
but he had some ties at.
Somebody out there. The Pangos. Do the Pangos guy? Did he have a vote?
No, Dino's no.
Okay, all right. Okay.
No. So understand this, man.
It's political now. You really.
Here's the thing. What my point is, and I try to explain to people about, and people see when I use the term being on the right side of politics, I don't say that as a slap in the face. I say it as a wake up call, because most of the time people wait until after the morning after, and then you try to go. And be like right now, I saw Odyssey just put a hell of a quote up there. Odyssey says he's seen so many people, because Odyssey, whether you guys know it or not, on the Boom Boom Room, Odyssey Williams, his daughter was a McDonald's All-American.
Okay. And he said he know about 6 of them. Yeah.
He knows 6 what?
McDonald's voters.
Yeah.
You know of 6.
That's on the girls' side. Yeah. His daughter was a McDonald's All-American. So Odyssey, when he's talking about this topic right here, guys, I know you're paying. He's been through it as a father,
right?
All-American, a McDonald's.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So be keen to that. Now, what I'm saying is, Odyssey mentioned a while ago that a lot of people, they talk smack about John Lucas behind his back, and then when they get close to time to getting this time, and a kid might be in the ring, then all of a sudden they start calling, want to come do his work. Back in the days, he don't do the workouts as openly and visibly as he did back in those days. He had his workouts going before he was in the NBA or as a coach, back on the bench as a coach, and it's true.
But Jimmy, in all fairness, when people, because I've heard people, what they do, and you might call this talking about. But some people didn't want to go to John workouts because there was so many people there and they couldn't get enough reps. It had nothing to do with John. It was that John it was just too many people. So how you gonna get a real workout if you go with that many people? So it wasn't that they didn't like John or talk about him behind his back. They just wanted to go to a more intimate setting where they got more. I mean, I'm talking about the guys that I've heard, because they tell me, man, I ain't going to Luke. I said, why not? Just, I can't get enough reps. That's not negative against Luke. It's negative about the people want to get more reps when they go work out. So I don't want, but it's some people that talk about, everybody. People talk about everybody. That's why I'm gonna go on the island. Ain't nobody gonna be able to talk about me on the island.
I mean, but my thing is, as far as just to start the politicking process.
Mhm.
If you're in the 12th grade
It's too late.
and you got to start, it's too late.
It's too late.
The politicking process for something like this, it starts when you are in the 11th, going into the 11th grade summer.
Mhm.
That summer in the 11th grade.
Mhm.
And trust me, I firmly believe that a kid like we mentioned, L.J. Crowder earlier, he's a top player in Houston.
Uh-huh.
He's ESPN. He came in at number 60. Tremont Mark, shout out to him. He's at number 67 in the recent list. Shout out to both of them. But I firmly believe that if had L.J. Crowder been healthy enough to play the entire circuit,
Yes.
he did not.
Yes.
So it's not one of those things that I don't hear nobody say L.J. Crowder got snubbed.
No.
He just did not. He did not go through the.
The 3.5 months were important.
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
Some kids have the ability to be able to test out or to bypass that test.
Yeah.
You know, you get and not go and some kid very few.
But you had to have an extensive resume though, Jimmy.
You have to already been ranked in the top 15, top 10
There
in
you
order
go.
to do that.
Yes.
He did not have that luxury. He was on the upkick trying to make chase injuries.
Yeah.
So in situations like that, a kid like Tremont Mark, why he didn't get up there, if you want to ask a question, well, he had too much ground to catch up.
But he was ranked higher at one point, Jimmy. Tremont was.
And then
in the 9th grade.
Then he fell.
I
then
know.
He had to come back. See, he had too much ground to catch up. See, it's easier in national rankings to not be ranked at all. Say like a Curran Roach. Not be ranked at all. Make you a hard push. And then you get up there. But Curran Roach, the difference with him back in 2014 or 2015.
Was he a McDonald?
No.
Okay.
If they'd had one more live event, he just ran out of time.
Okay.
With Curran Roach. He ran out of time because everybody who saw him loved him. But they hadn't seen him. And when guys like that, they really got to see you again.
Yeah.
Remember, he played with the Houston Hoop Stars. I mean, with the Rock Stars. And they played in Las Vegas at Bishop Gorman High School.
I was there.
Funny thing, there was a kid from Louisiana that was the man. He was the man in Louisiana named Brandon Sampson. Brandon Sampson came walking there and Curran Roach gave him the business. Funny thing how life goes full circle. Reason I brought this Curran Roach stuff up. Curran Roach jumps up and he's in the top 50 in the country when the rankings come out. Going into the season, North Shore goes and wins state. All right, so the Curran Roach is trending. So he's up in them 40s now in the country. He's in the range, but North Shore didn't play anywhere in like a Thanksgiving hoop fest. So the schedule was already set in stone. And he just ran out of time. And that happens. That's why a lot of these kids, when they go to these power schools like a Montverde, it helps their case. Now, the reason I brought Brandon Sampson and Curran Roach up, guess where both of them are right now? Both of them are teammates.
In the G League.
In the Rio Grande, Vipers?
Yeah, Rio Grande Vipers.
Rio Grande Vipers. They're teammates. And Brandon Sampson is starting. He one of the men on that team. Right now.
Jimmy, D League is full of people like that.
No, I'm just saying how Curran Roach gave him the business, but then that dude got better, and that dude is playing way more minutes than Curran Roach is right now. Somebody asked how many McDonald All-American have transfers lately, boys and girls. I know on the girls side they've been moving around. We were to dig that stuff up as far as the transfers. We know Quentin Grimes is one in recent years. That's a transfer. He's not the only one at all, but I have to look that up. And I just say I think Daniel House got snubbed. And Daniel played on the sneaker circuit. Daniel was making one of those similar pushes. He made one of those similar pushes as Curran did, but possibly. And I'm trying to think, was Daniel House at Hightower? Was he part of that? Remember now they had a 5 when Garland Green was there. Remember Garland?
I don't keep up with that. I didn't keep up with it that much then. I didn't keep up with it that much. But you know what? I would like to say, man, it's to all the guys. I saw this the other day, and I'm on an echo, and I saw it. I don't remember who said it. I'd like to say congratulations to all the kids that made the ESPN rankings today. It's truly an honor for the people to respect your games. But I want to let the other kids know that guys who did not see their names, don't fret. Westbrook, Curry, Leonard, Lillard, George, Klay Thompson, Jimmy Butler, Pascal Siakam didn't see their names either on there until it mattered. So don't stop working because your name is not on that list, young men. Mamas, tell your young men that today. Don't stop working but you got to be special, but don't stop working. I just wanted to add that, Jimmy, because we give so much, credence to the guys that made the list, and everybody who made the list, hey, they got a chance. What you said, they got the opportunity now to go think about it. Now they got the opportunity to go to college and see how really good they are.
Mm-hmm.
And make those voters say, okay, y'all should have voted for me. So I think about these guys all the time, because I know how hard LJ Cryer works, and I know what he put in, and it's just a little too late. Those 3 months, it was just bad timing. But guess what? That timing might turn into a blessing. We don't know. So shout out to all the young guys out there, man.
Yeah, shout out to you. I'm watching. Clarence Harris says I think that LJ Cryer will make it. And I'm asking you, what are you basing it on? I just explained to you guys that LJ probably, if it was a grade or report card, he would get an incomplete. That summer circuit, guys. See, one thing about the McDonald's game, they've done the committee over the years. Look at it as Santa Claus. They fooled the world on making you guys think that this process is really based upon what you do in high school. Remember, at one point in time, it did. The first McDonald's game was 1978. Guess what? There was so many states that couldn't even play summer basketball back then. Couldn't even go to camps. 1979, Greg Kite from out of Houston, Madison, sued for the state of Texas on behalf of the student athletes and won. He was the reason that other guys behind him, like a Ricky Winslow, got a chance to go out, and Eddie Combo to Dapper Dan. Well, Eddie Combo didn't make the McDonald's. Ricky Winslow did. But to go to those Dapper Dans and to go around the country and play in the summer. You could not do that back then in Texas. This guy, Greg Kite, he was about 6'9", a white guy from Madison High School. Remember, whether you believe it or not, Madison High School was predominantly white back in those days. Living out there was just like,
Excuse me, Jimmy. Boy, businessman. Hey, y'all, businessman got a name, Jay. His name Nick. Okay? I wrote your name down, Nick. But Nick asked me a question. Nick said, Hatter, why you just said mamas keep your young men working hard? Why not fathers keep? Because I'm a father, and I used to always work my son in his personal Nick. But if his mama feel like I'm working him too hard, she gonna hide him for a few days. They gonna go on a trip. They gonna go somewhere. That's why I always said mamas, cause I was a daddy that was, if my son was with me all the time and stayed with me, boy, he'd have been, I probably would have made him not like basketball. That's why I always add the moms, cause as much as you gonna do for your son up there, if he make it big, I promise you, the first thing he gonna say, hi, mom. No matter how much y'all just go look at my son's social media. Look who we give all the credit to. Mama ain't did nothing on the basketball court. But boy, any accolade he get, he always talk about his mom. And I'm okay with it. And I understand it. And that's just the way it is, man. I didn't mean no slight to the fathers. That was personal from me saying, hey, man, them mamas got it, man. They just got it. And there ain't nothing we can do about it. I take my hat. You can fight them mamas if you want to. You're not going to win that battle. So I'm sorry, Jimmy. I had to add that to him because people need to understand that sometimes. I didn't mean a slight to the fathers. Never. Shit, I'm one. But them mamas got it going on, Doc. The mamas got it going on. Not just.
And I was looking up, just reading some of the history on Greg Kite. But it was a thing, guys. I want to add something else. Remember, I told you when the committee, the McDonald's selection committee, one good point of understanding that I may have left out, so that when they do their final votes of 25, that's 5 at each position. This is how it goes, right? Let's say I got 5, and let's say John is my first, right?
Okay.
And let's say Rob is my second.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Jim is my third pick at that position, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say Mo is my fourth one.
Okay. What about Larry?
Let's say Ike is my fifth one.
You said Mo. I thought you were going to put Larry and Curly in there, but keep going.
That's too many words. I was trying to. Okay. So now, let's say I got this like this, you guys. Okay. Right? So what happens is my first pick is going to be worth 5 points when they tally them up. My second one is going to be worth 4. My third one is going to be worth 3, 2, and 1. So you understand? So that means now I got to put them in order by each position. So that matters as well. Because now and they know if you're trying to get slick, because you're not going to have Cade Cunningham as your 5th selection at a position. That's a red flag, right? So that means something. They add, and everybody, all of the voting members sitting there, that's at each position. Those may be the point guards, right? Then the shooting guards, then the wing. You go 5 points, so they add all of the points from all of the ballots, and those the 24 whom get the most votes are the selectees by position. Now, they also have alternates. They know to go. That's why they used to inform people to let them know, because they would say if they had to accept, if they would be able to, if they were, because some people that you may vote on, just say if a kid might have played a game last night, a kid could have sprung his ankle, tore his knee up. The committee that's around the country may not know that kid is out for the year. So they have to, that's why they used to contact, and they probably going to contact most of these kids either tonight or in the morning now, because it used to be a couple of days prior to. Odyssey, I don't know, when did they call you about your daughter when she got selected? That's a good question I want to ask Odyssey if he's still watching. How many days in advance did you guys get the call from the McDonald's All-American? And I know Kim, she's in class now because school started back up. Kim Corville, she's went through the process with her daughter, Kelsey Bone, as well.
Jimmy, that's unique that we're talking about this subject. I guess people from just a knowledge standpoint, because most of us won't experience that. Most of us won't experience our son being a McDonald All-American or our daughter being a McDonald All-American. That's that top 1% that we be talking about. But I admire you going through the process and letting people do understand it. But most of us, we just it don't happen for all of us, y'all. So, but I guess you want to know about it and understand it, but it's not going to affect most of our lives.
No, once again, it's a Santa Claus play on the kid's psyche.
Okay.
And that's what it is. And you know, do you know how to one guy, he messed around and text messaged one of the guys that's on the committee. Not gonna say his name. Text messaged him and was asking, you meet guys, you gave him your phone number, so I mean you know him, you all right? He text messaged and was asking him about the process. Because the guy in the media, amateur media, didn't really know. You know, he's a little local writer. And so he just wanted to, but the guy thought he was, this was a few years back, thought he was just text messaging back as candid. This reporter published the transcript of the conversation. For which one of the questions was, he asked him, he asked him about the nominees. And he says, the reply was, we list all nominees on our website because if a coach feels that they have a candidate worthy of a nomination and takes the time to submit that nomination, we should recognize that player for their hard work and loyalty to their high school programs. And also he says we do accept all eligible nominees that a high school coach or athletic director submit. The nominees represent the good in high school basketball. It's an honor for these student athletes to be considered deserving and worried about their coaches who have worked with them during their careers. So basically, if you nominate a player, he's going to make the list. I've seen the list at one point in time. I've seen the list of nominees be damn near 10,000.
You know what, Jimmy? I remember.
10,000.
You know what?
Back in the day.
I don't remember. I don't even think I knew. Well, our coach probably didn't know to nominate a player back then with Robert.
That's the fault. They're supposed to know. That's the whole thing. You know why?
And I didn't care.
Because most coaches nowadays are not old enough where they did not play high school ball during the McDonald's All-American era. You see that? Take that in what I'm saying. Most high school coaches.
Some of these coaches just coaching and don't know. Some of these coaches are coaching come on. Some of these coaches in high school coaching, they really teachers. No, Jimmy, they really teachers.
But the majority of high school basketball coaches, the majority played high school basketball. So I'm saying most of the majority of the high school coaches in our current system were young enough to have still been in high school after 1978. That's what I'm saying. Most of them. Not
that
all
don't
of them.
mean you know.
No, that means that the McDonald process of being a nominee, remember when we back in those 80s, that was big stuff.
Oh, yes, sir.
See, being just a nominee, I understand. Back in those days, if you went to McDonald's with your certificate, that was big.
Oh, but it's not big anymore. Okay,
It's
back
now,
in the 80s,
like,
I got you.
You see now?
So in the 2000s, I'm telling you, we weren't even thinking about it.
Well,
I wasn't even thinking about it.
See, one reason is at the time, the kids, they understood. I was just happy to be nominated. Not me. I'm talking about what the kid was saying. I'm happy to be nominated.
I would be happy too.
But now the nominations are being misconstrued and being misrelayed. People taking those certificates and going to church, telling the congregation, my baby a McDonald's All-American. See how the difference now? See? You ain't a McDonald's All-American.
Jimmy, that came out, Jimmy. Trey just sent it to us.
What do you got?
I'm thinking I put it on the screen. The McDonald's, 2000 McDonald's.
Oh, I said tomorrow, so it's today.
It's today. I told you Thursday you must have been drinking.
It's supposed to have been 2 o'clock, so they done leaked it out early. They done put it on out.
Boy, it's official. I mean, on the official paper and everything. You know what?
Thanks, Trey. Thanks a bunch.
Huh?
I said, thanks a bunch, Trey.
Thank you, Trey.
Put it on the screen, Adam.
Okay. Hold on. All right, keep talking.
So as it stands, guys, we have only 2 girls from the state of Texas that got selected. Hannah Gusters at Urban MacArthur and Deja Kelly from
Deja.
out of Duncanville. That's the girl. Those are the only two. On the boys' side, Greg Brown is in. Cade Cunningham is in. And that's it. That's it. So Michael Peavy did not make it. Remember now, and that's the list that was just published today. How do you put it up on the screen for him?
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying.
And while you put it up, the boys, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Boston, Greg Brown, it's alphabetical order, Namari Burnett, Josh Christopher, Terrence Clark, Sharif Cooper, Cade Cunningham, R.J. Davis, Dawson Garcia, Jalen Green, Walker Kessler, Caleb Love, Evan Mobley, Deshaun Nix, Jeremy Roach, Dayron Sharp. How do you like him, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I got them up on the screen, Jimmy, but they're not big. I wish I could. Let me see.
Jaden Springer, DJ Stewart, Jalen Suggs, Bryce Thompson, Isaiah Todd, Mark Williams, and Zaire Williams from Sierra Canyon. So Sierra Canyon has 2 players selected. How about University of North Carolina, who just lost their 6th game in a row?
They got
3.
3 of them. They reloading.
How about this? This is rare. This may be the first McDonald game with the most undecided players in history. I'm telling you right now.
Why these guys taking so long now, Jimmy?
In fact, North Carolina got 4, Hannah. Got 4.
North Carolina got 4?
4.
And he over there whining about he ain't got no talent?
Hey. How many undecideds, guys? Good gracious. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. I see 10 undecideds in this year's on the boys' side. 10 undecideds. On the girls, guess how many undecideds the girls have?
How many?
1.
Oh, that's right. I'm
1.
looking at it now. I told you them women just know what the hell they want. Them dudes trying to figure out whether they gonna try to do something else. I know what they do.
The bags might be funny. You know, the bags ain't the same as they used to be.
Jimmy, I heard them bags ain't, man, these folks ain't about to go to jail messing with you and your talking ass parents. Running your mouth. Penny gave me some money to go to move. Let me tell y'all something. Parents, shut up, man. Somebody give you something. I'm sorry.
How about Texas Tech keep their streak going with another McDonald's All-American?
Who they got?
Namari Burnett.
Namari going to Tech. That's the dude was on the ball of moms. That was one of the dudes. Jimmy. Ain't that one of the dudes? That was one of the dudes. Namari. I remember that name.
He plays with Jalen Green. That's the guy on the same team.
Jimmy, he was the one that the mama and the daddy, had a little bread. The mama thinks she know everything. You remember they didn't have a 2 episodes. They cut that.
They cut it quick. Huh? That mama was. She was a cookie monster, a reverse cookie monster. They say, oh hell, we thought she was just playing. We didn't know.
That off chain. I forgot the lady's name, but she came on the show. You remember they came on the show before.
So
thank you, Doug. Doug, remember that show. Doug probably still got that show on DVR. The Baltimore.
So there you have it. Only 2 girls from Texas, 2 boys from Texas in the McDonald game, and 3 of the 4 are from DFW. And that's why I asked the question. Jimmy,
Cade Cunningham not undecided. They got him on here undecided.
They got him undecided, so it's 9. He's going to Oklahoma State. They hating on Cade. And I want to ask, I saw somebody ask me a question a while ago before we get ready to land the plane. I want to make sure I answer this question. Mm-hmm. I think Trey Phillips, you asked me, how does a junior, an 11th grader, wind up on the list of nominees? Well, let me explain to you why. I read to you a while ago, they take pretty much all nominees from athletic director, principal, the coach. Let me tell you something. All you got to do is go in your coach's office and send a you can nominate your damn self. Let me tell you, they don't know. A lot of the people they think are 12th grade, these are nominees. They don't care about them nominees. That's a novelty to create and generate interest because that's the advertising, the free advertising. Think about it. It's not called a Burger King All-American Game. It ain't called a Whataburger All-American Game or In-N-Out Burger or Wendy's. It's the McDonald's. Think about how much free advertising that the McDonald's Corporation is about to get over the next 24 hours in every major city in the country. Plus on ESPN, that list is going to run. It's going to loop every sports center. They're going to mention that. And they're probably going to talk about it in the morning in one of the shows in the morning. That's free advertising. You know why? It ain't no way to say the McDonald's All-American Game without saying McDonald's. Smart move, which gives them residual effects of advertising for decades, this game.
That's
now, I mean, it really is. Now, the thing is, it's in Houston. And so now people can rest, get out of your misery. So now we can see some people can start to playing ball and stop being concerned and thinking that they.
Wait a minute, Jimmy. Who in Houston was trying to wait a minute, who in Houston?
I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Maybe some people I don't know. Maybe some people may have thought that they had a chance. And I don't know. Maybe Tremont Mark may have thought he had a chance. Maybe Clarence Harris, maybe LJ Crowder may have thought he had a chance. Well, a realistic chance. You always have anything is possible. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, because it's in the city, they think see what happens. I don't think McDonald's, y'all, because somebody told me this now in the process. They told me they don't worry that much about hometown, whether it's going to be a crowd or not. They don't never worry about that kind of stuff. They sponsorship, Jimmy, is probably already taken care of before it even happened. The game happened. And they was just telling me it's not that we got a hometown boy. It's going to be I found that out. They told me that. I didn't want to hear it, but they told me.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why my only thing was why even bring it to Houston if you're going to, because it's not, they didn't snub.
They bring it to every city, coach.
Yeah, but know what though, Howard? In recent years, it's been in Atlanta for a couple of years and it stayed in Chicago for about 5 years before that. But every of those cities had, we got Texas representation. So it ain't like we got nobody from Texas there. But that was an Atlanta guy in the McDonald's game. That was a Chicago guy every year, pretty much, I think, except one in the when it was in Chicago.
But it was an Atlanta guy, was one of the top players in the country, Jamie.
Yes.
And
guess what?
He was going to be in if it was in Canada.
In 2003, guess where the game was at? They know ahead of time.
Jimmy.
Guess where it was 2003?
Where?
Where they decided to put the game at?
Well, I don't know.
In Cleveland, Ohio.
Dude, what I tell you early in the show, I know you don't listen to me. Let me read. It's a phenom. Phenoms are different. I told you there's a difference between a star and a phenom. LeBron was a phenom. 17 years later, he's still a phenom. But somebody asked a good question. Doug Jones, how many of those selected are EYBL players? Jimmy, go back in there and pull it out of there, Jimmy. That's a good one, Doug. Jimmy, you probably can recognize them.
Well, I can tell you like this.
Uh-huh.
I had to go and look, and I can recognize many of them.
Yes, you can.
But I'm going to tell you like this.
What?
I know in the last couple of years, there's been about 20 of the 24 played, maybe 20 to 24. Wow. I'm sorry, 20 of the 24. At least 20 played on the sneaker circuit.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
But the majority of these guys played EYBL this year.
Still about 20? Evan Mobley, that's the only one I can know.
Come on, man. You know more than that. Hell,
No. I'm talking about that didn't play. I'm talking about that didn't. Okay. Yeah. Evan Mobley didn't play. He played with Adidas.
Yeah. So I look at that thing and find But it's
I'm trying to find one, Jimmy. Yo, see, y'all.
It's about playing. So that means as some people make decisions on what summer team they're going to play on, what grassroots team they're going to play with, if this stuff is important, if this is important, then that need to be part of your decision. Otherwise, I'm just saying, if it's that important, I'm not saying you got to play what you got to play, but don't make your decision and then you get mad at the system and saying, well, man, the system messed up. Okay, well, the system was already what it was for. You decided to go play over here. Same thing is going to different events. You go to different events, there are people that vote that are going to be present. Stop falling for the old adage when the people say media going to be present. Ask the question, who going to be there?
Jalen Suggs, coach, I think he played on another tour. I don't think Jalen Suggs played EYB. I'm not sure. I wish I knew. I wish somebody was on the feed that knew all of this. Yeah, and Bryce Thompson played for UA. You're right. You're right. Thanks, Doug. Doug, who did Jalen Suggs play for? I think he played on the other circuit too. Man, I like this, Jimmy. I mean, hey, Jimmy, them business decisions when you're a top player, yeah. See, Jalen Suggs didn't. See, thank you, Jeffrey. I'm just looking at names that see what when I went to the EYBL. I'm just looking at names that I don't remember. I don't remember Deshaun Nix. I don't remember him, Jimmy.
Yeah, Deshaun is the guard from out of Vegas.
But I don't remember him.
Yeah,
I know Memphis lost by 40 last night, dude. With a McDonald All-American on our team.
You got more than one. Stop.
Was Precious was at McDonald?
Yes.
Okay, we got two.
Precious was top 5 in the country.
I'm saying that. Hold on, I'm saying that as a I'm hot. Hey, get what Penny said though after the game. I bet it won't happen again. It's gonna be.
Okay. Here's a good question that we had the other day. Now this is a teachable moment. Mm-hmm. Teachable moment. Mm-hmm. Memphis loses to Tulsa by 40, mm-hmm. right? Only scores 40 points.
40 points.
While losing by 40 to Tulsa.
On the road.
Right?
On the road.
I don't care where it was at. Here's the question. Does this Memphis team, because remember, U of H, didn't they lose to, who else lost to Tulsa? Somebody else lost to Tulsa.
I don't know.
Was it U of H? Y'all help me out. My point is, what I'm getting
What's
at
your point?
Is, remember the same equation the other day when University of Texas lost. And I said they had no business losing like that to West Virginia.
I agree. Same thing.
This is the equivalent. I don't care about Tulsa beating Memphis, but Memphis only scoring 40 points and losing by 40, they ain't got no business. Too much talent.
Never.
Too much talent. Yeah, Houston. Thank you, Doug.
You can have talent all you want to.
So listen. So that means Houston lost to Tulsa too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means if you in defense, the same equation. When somebody came on there talking about, well, West Virginia got this, that's hard to win now. Well, yeah. Houston is in the top 25. Memphis is in the top 25. Tulsa is beating both of those teams this year.
So what that mean? Tulsa should be in the top 25?
But still, Memphis has no business losing by that many. I don't care what Frank Haight has on that roster, based on what Memphis got on their roster. Yeah. Memphis got 2 McDonald's All-American. They got about 5 or 6 4-stars.
Yeah, but if your ass turned the ball over 100 times, you're gonna get beat by 40. I'm just telling you that.
I mean,
I don't care how many stars you got by your. I told you that stuff the other day.
No, understand.
I told you that.
Don't have no business. That means accountability.
Oh,
that ain't the regular loss. If they lost by a bucket or two, a couple of possessions.
No, they don't have no ball.
You got that to only put up 40 points.
Yeah.
It's the same. Remember, UT only scored 44 against Baylor.
Yeah.
See, to only put up 40 points.
I'm gonna let you have your day
per minute. So
got
that's
14
something to
seconds.
think about, guys. Hey man, we can go all day. We already
No, we
overtime.
can't. We didn't really go overtime, Jimmy. We were late on the show. So we only went 1 hour and 59 minutes right now. Now we got 45 seconds.
Well, we got
yeah,
good.
45
so now
seconds.
Let's play. I want to remind you guys, you go over to rcssports.com and we have updated the district standings, the team rankings. You can see the top 25 teams this week, along with the pictures of most of the teams, who their top wins are, and everybody they've lost to. You can print that page. It all comes out. It's formatted, one sheet. The district standings updated as of this morning. That's a good thing too. Once again, this website serves as an asset, as a resource, to you guys if you live in the Greater Houston community. For high school basketball, there's some good games going on this weekend. Those will be posted on the website tomorrow. Don't forget, I'm back on the TV screen Saturday and Sunday on channel 57, The Cube. If you have Xfinity cable, then that's channel 53 on Xfinity. But The Cube, I'm on Saturday and Sunday at 6 p.m. And that's going to be good. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff this weekend on The Cube with Todd Freed. Also, what else I forgot about? Something else I forgot to. Oh, Jack Yates. They're up to the 10th win. We mentioned that yesterday. And by the time we come back on Monday, it's going to either be 11 or the streak will be over. And I'm going to share my thoughts on that stuff on Monday. Other than that, Alan, what last word you got?
I'm out. I'm out, baby boy. I got things to do.
That's what I got to get on over and get out there. Got meetings and stuff, man. Thanks again. Don't forget, guys, also the spring icebreaker is coming up. You want to sign up your team, go to RCS Sports. Everything is there that you need. Look along the top bar to get your team signed up for the spring icebreaker basketball showcase. Right now we got over 175 teams and counting that are already confirmed into the event. So I used to put the teams up in advance. How to say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that now.
Because you got some shenanigans going on around here.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fix y'all ass this time. So I'm going to do just like other people do their tournaments and wait till the schedule come out before letting you know who's there and who you get to compete against.
See, man, y'all done messed up the game, man.
No. They done messed up the game.
I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about them folks up there. Y'all, they know who they are. They listening.
Yeah. So anyway, we go definitely. Otherwise, guys, I got to get up out of here, man. See you guys. Thanks so much for tuning to the Chop Shop. This was a great convo. Make sure you share the show, guys. A lot of you guys did not share the show today.
And Jamie, let me give a shout out to Todd Byerly. Soon as we came on the show, he shared it. Odyssey shared it. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. And I'm going to tell y'all very soon. I'm telling you right now. We just going to show up one day and not going to do it on Facebook. I was going to give y'all a heads up. We're going to go live on YouTube. And if you won't know unless you go and subscribe to the show right now. I promise you, as many of y'all on this show today, everybody need to go over to YouTube right now and just subscribe to the YouTube channel. Come on, man. We're going to start putting stuff on YouTube that we're not going to put on Facebook. So I want y'all to be able to get it. And businessman, I did put the starting five up at the halfway part,
you put it up. It wasn't halfway. It was about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, I put it up there then, so it was up there. Now, so go back and look at it later. All right, go to YouTube. Go to the YouTube channel and Chop Shop HTX at YouTube. All right, you'll see the icon up there. So Jimmy, you got anything else?
I got something I was going to share with you guys, and I was trying to make it a surprise.
Man, no surprise. This is the Boom Boom Room. It's just us right now.
No, I'm typing it in there for you.
Oh, okay.
And this is going to help you guys going into the weekend. And here we go. Boom. There you go.
Okay, I ain't seen it yet. It ain't up my. Oh, there, dude.
There you go.
The breakdown of sneaker affiliations selected. Oh, okay. Oh, it's 16, so they caught up.
Who caught up?
Coach, you said it was 20 last time, 20 last year.
No, I say 20 to 22 would be sneaker affiliations.
Oh, I thought you said Nike.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry, my bad. Okay. 16 EYBL, 4 Adidas, 4 UA, and 1 independent. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
so once again, there's always that snowball's chance if you don't play on the sneaker platform that you can make it, but don't bank on it. It's one, they don't come every year. It's once, it may be one in every year. So that's something you guys think about. But there you have it. Once again, so when people start taunting the programs and the sneaker circuits, I put it like this. If it was, EYBL has 16 players that got selected. Mm-hmm. If that was Under Armour or Adidas, you know what they would be saying right now?
What?
Just imagine what they would be saying about their platform. So now when people start pushing the EYBL, I know people get tired of it. They get mad. But guess what? They got a right to pump their chest. They're getting the best players coming out of high school. This is a midway point. That's the whole thing. Not gonna mean they're gonna be the best college players. Not mean they're gonna be the best pros. But right now, that's what it is. So now, yeah, I got to get up out of here. All right,
go. Let's go.
Thanks so much. Make sure you guys share the show. Thanks so much. I see you, David Pope, going out there. I see Derek Johnson. I got and a couple other guys. I ran into one of the viewers in one of the old traps the other night. I forgot to give him a shout out.
You need to stay out them traps, then you won't run into people.
You're right. I had no business running into him in that trap the other day. But anyway, shout out to everybody, guys. We up out of here. I'll see you guys on Monday, man. On behalf of Robert Haller, myself, Jim Hicks, it's time to slide on down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing, boss. I'm up out of here. Chop shop.
See y'all later. Let me hit that song for y'all.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based in debate, but they keep it fact straight going.